we go. Wait, take.
He's got Ben Troupe at the 15, at the 10, hurdle the man, spins to the 5. Oh my, still on his feet, still pounding to the goal line, and he's gonna score!
That's right, y'all. No Weddings in the Fall is back, baby. It's NFL time, and we are super excited to get things rolling here today. Well, first, we're going to start with our introductions. Of course, we got to do the man of the hour first. It is the man, the myth, the legend, Ben Troupe. Welcome into the studio, sir.
Commish, it's been a long time. Looking forward to, getting back in the saddle a little bit. Just, getting back to talking trash. I mean, the DMs be blowing up a little bit more now. People have a lot to say. They have a lot to say to me now. They don't like my takes. They're like, Ben, what the hell are you talking about? I said, I told you not to listen to me. But they seem to be listening. But it ain't nothing like no weddings in the fall, man. Let's do it. Let's
run it. Let's go. Man, and our new co-host who's matching, we got matching haircuts today, Justin Jesus Herrera. Welcome into the studio, sir.
Yeah, I'm trying to get the lighting better. I was realizing that I looked like I was telling a scary ghost story to somebody. I was over here in the darkness.
Well, we are going to cover the Cleveland Browns, so,
Oh, that hurts. But it's funny, no weddings in the fall. I had my wedding in the fall, but I did it week 1, so I didn't miss much. But I remember I was thinking, you know what? Because I had my buddies coming in from high school. I was just like, you know what? We should go to a 49er game because they were playing up in Pittsburgh. But my wife said that shit real quick.
Well, that's the theme, Justin. That's why you don't get married in the fall, so you don't get cock blocked from football. That's for damn sure. All right, well, let's pay the bills real quick before we get going. If you're watching on YouTube, do us a solid, give us a like, throw some comments in there, and subscribe, of course. Little things stopping you from doing it, big things popping for us when you do. We appreciate that. Also, our new sponsor, Fast Draft app. Use the code TROOP. We'll double your deposit for $50. That's $100 to throw down on your favorite fantasy daily stuff. So make sure you check that out. And if you're looking for some championship bling for your fantasy champion, look no further than Pro-Am Belts. All right, well, let's get things started. We're doing the AFC preview today. So lots of teams to talk about and lots of things to cover. Before we do, we got our medical expert in the building tonight. He's going to give us an AFC injury rundown. So let's bring Brian Scott in from the Injured List podcast.
The doctor is in now.
Welcome in, Brian. So, Brian, I know you're married. When was your wedding?
September Labor Day weekend. Does that count as the fall? I don't know.
It's close. It's
definitely on the bubble.
It's still the summer, but because if they kick the ball off, yeah, it's a fall. Yep.
I was young. I wasn't thinking.
It's all good. Listen, I just don't want that guy to be in the back. Like he gonna sit in the back of the church with his back turned, going like this. I'm sorry. You know what I'm saying? Because all the grooms be like, "Did they score? Did they? Oh my God! Hurry up! Gotta go, man. Gotta go."
Well, we did it the right way. We didn't do it on the Sunday. We did it on the Saturday night, so we could have the whole weekend.
Hey, there's nothing like hearing right when everybody's like about to take their vows. You're just like, oh shit, and you realize every one of your groups has got that ESPN app.
and including the guy doing the wedding. He's like, dearly beloved, who got injured? Really? Oh,
that was before AirPods. Can you imagine if there was AirPods back when that was before? People would be like,
Oh yeah,
nobody was paying attention.
We're sitting here with Travis and Taylor. I'm sorry, not Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce. I mean, it's all good though. It's all good.
All right, Brian, we're doing the AFC
Yeah.
rundown. Give us your injured list, if you will, for the AFC.
Well, the commissioner gave me a list, and it was quite an extensive list. So I'm going to try and get through this in a nice, concise amount of time here. But Ravens tight end Isaiah Likely, he had an incident at the end of July. He was carted off the field during practice, during training camp, rolled his ankle. Turned out he had some type of foot fracture, which required surgery, I think, a couple days later. So now they're saying approximately 6 weeks from that day of surgery, which was basically the beginning of August. So that's about right in most cases. So he could potentially start on PUP IR because he's going to miss at least 2-3 weeks probably. So wouldn't be surprising. The reason they do that is for roster moves, pick up an extra slot, get a guy in there, potentially then send him back to the practice squad if likely he's ready to go. So I think that's a pretty reasonable amount of time. So I'm not so sure he's going to be activated before that week 4, but we'll definitely have to keep an eye on it because that deadline's coming up soon now that we're getting close to the regular season where they have to make their roster decisions about who's going on IR and when. So the Bills, Khalil Shakir, he had an injury, a high ankle sprain just 2 weeks ago. They're saying he's week to week. I also tend to agree with that. With high ankle sprains, these typically take on average of about 4 to 6 weeks, depending on the severity. But given that it's preseason, I think they're going to err on the side of caution, and this will at least go 4 weeks, if not a little longer. I don't think he's going to have to start on PUP. I think he'll be ready when he's ready, but I don't think they're going to force him back prematurely. So they're saying that he should be ready to go week 1. I think that is reasonable, but I don't think they're going to do it unless they absolutely feel he's ready to go. So at the worst, this could be maybe a week 2 season preview for him, but high ankle sprains take a little bit longer. So Bengals tight end Mike Gesicki had a hamstring injury. The notorious hamstring injuries are back this year. We can expect to see them every preseason, basically, but his happened just a few weeks ago as well. Looked like he tweaked it after a play during one of their open practice sessions that they had with one of the other teams. I forget who it was. He missed the preseason game recently against Cincinnati, I believe it was, and he's doing some rehab activity, but he hasn't really returned to much practice activity yet. So again, with hamstrings, you're going to take it slow. You don't want this to linger throughout the rest of the season, which it certainly could because hamstrings have a very high re-injury rate if prematurely placed back into a position where you're going full all out. So they're going to take it slow with him. He's progressing, but he's not a full go, and I don't think he will be. Well, maybe week 1, but it's going to be close. It depends on how he's feeling. Shedeur Sanders had some type of oblique injury recently, but he returned to practice today, did some light stuff. Positive step. I don't think it's anything serious. I think they're just taking it slow with him. They don't want to jeopardize their young rookie there who potentially could get a shot at starting sometime in the future here. So Broncos, Dre Greenlaw. You guys might remember him. He's the one who ruptured his Achilles tendon as he was running out onto the field during the Super Bowl 2 years ago, which was a terrible way to rupture your Achilles. He had a lower body injury, some type of quad strain or something, the end of July. He's been practicing, or I should say he's been participating, but briefly in practices. They think he's going to be ready for the upcoming preseason finale. I think that's legitimate. I think he will be. I think, again, they're just not rushing him back. He's a veteran. They don't want to cause any major soft tissue injury like that Achilles, so they're going to take it slow. But he should be ready to go, I think, week 1 for the regular season. The question is whether he's going to play in this finale preseason game, and it's 50-50. Texans, Tank Dell. He had a season-ending knee injury, which was a terrible, terrible injury. Dislocated kneecap, ACL, MCL, LCL, basically the whole shebang. We will not see him in 2025. I've been saying that for a long time now, and it's pretty much been confirmed with multiple reports coming out saying the same thing. Even if he does come back next year, he's not going to be the same type of player. That's a devastating injury. He might even start next year on PUP, they're saying too, which again would not be surprising. He has a major injury. So that's something to keep an eye on as we get into next year. But you guys don't even have to ask me about him anymore. I'm going to say the same thing. We're not seeing him in 2025. Joe Mixon. Joe Mixon's been dealing with a lot of stuff over the years. Again, another lingering foot and ankle thing. This happened in the offseason. He was placed on the non-football injured list. There was questions surrounding what the exact injury was. I don't even know if we really still know or how it happened. They think he was during his training. There's growing concern that he's going to start on PUP, and every week that goes by, it looks like that's a realistic possibility. So I'm just going to stick with that we'll probably see him on PUP. I don't know the injury. I haven't been able to find reports that give specifics. I'm just as in the dark as everybody else. So heading down the list, we got the Colts' Josh Downs, another hamstring victim here. This happened just last week, I believe, during a joint practice. So he's day to day, probably more like week to week, to be honest with you. He didn't play in this last weekend's preseason game. No surprise there. Probably won't make it for the finale, and will probably be eyeing to get ready for that week 1 start. Excuse me. So on average, I think wide receivers miss about 1 to 3.5 weeks with a hamstring injury. If they're smart, they'll go closer to that 3.5 week to 4 week mark, because you don't want this to become a problem for the rest of the season. Travis Hunter, speaking of Travis Hunter, we were talking about him earlier. He had some type of upper body injury. It didn't sound like it was anything serious. They held him out of practice recently. They're saying he's day to day. He didn't participate in their preseason matchup against the Saints recently. He did come back to practice a couple days ago in a limited capacity. It sounds like he should be ready for week 1. It doesn't sound like a serious thing. Again, rookie, I think they're just taking him along slow. He's going to be playing both sides of the ball possibly, so nothing serious from what we have read. Marquise Brown is another guy that's often popped up on my injury reports throughout the years. Last year, I think it was, or 2 years ago, he had that pretty bad sternoclavicular joint dislocation, had to have that surgically repaired. Recently, late July, he had an ankle injury, was carted off the field during practice. Andy Reid was quick to say it's nothing too serious. Status was uncertain heading into the preseason game, but he did return to practice last week, and they're taking a day-to-day approach, it sounds like. So, again, with a guy who's often injured, you're not going to rush him back. He's a veteran, so they really don't need him to do too much during the preseason. He'll be ready to go. He should be ready week 1. Najee Harris, this is another man. Ben, what did you guys do in the offseason, man? I feel like some of these guys need like parental chaperones or something. He didn't learn the lesson that Pierre Paul had, was playing with some fireworks and had some type of superficial eye injury, apparently. Luckily for him, it wasn't something serious, but he was placed on the football non-injured list, I think, and he's been progressing, but he's doing basically nothing right now. He's doing some conditioning stuff. They're saying that they're optimistic for a week 1 return. It doesn't sound like it was a serious injury to his eye. I'm just kind of surprised he's not doing a little more, so I'm not really sure what that means. Now, if he goes on IR, he's going to miss 4 weeks. I don't think that's what's going to happen. I haven't seen reports saying that that's what's going to happen, but he's not doing much at all right now, so I'm not sure what's going on with him. Something certainly to keep an eye on as we get closer to the regular season. America's team, Devon Achane is on the list there. He's got a little calf strain, probably nothing serious. They think he's going to be ready for the season opener, and I think so too. It doesn't sound like there's anything bad. Patriots, Stephon Diggs, we've been talking about him all off season too. He's coming off an ACL injury from October. It sounds like everything went well with his surgery and recovery thus far. He's kind of on schedule, which means he realistically could be ready week 1. He's basically, that timetable would be sufficient for a guy to get cleared. I don't think we're going to see top-notch Stephon Diggs. I think that's going to be a little bit more toward the middle and end of the season, where we see him kind of get his normal kind of pace, agility back. But as we say with a lot of the ACL stuff, it could take up to 2 years before guys are kind of really feeling comfortable on that surgically reconstructed knee. But by all reports, he's doing really well, and I think we'll see him week 1. Alan Lazard, he's often been on the injured list too with the Jets here. It sounds like he's vying for a potential career-changing situation here, as he's recovering from some type of shoulder injury that he had in a preseason opener against Green Bay. He was wearing an arm sling at one point. They said he'd be sidelined for at least 2 weeks. Roster changes are coming soon, man. The roster cuts. So this could be Lazard's final chance to make this roster. And whether or not he's ready for the season opener on September 7th, I don't know. We'll have to see as things get closer. That's something to keep an eye on. Steelers tight end, I think, right? Tight end, Jonnu Smith. He's recovering from some type of knee injury that he got during training camp in late July. They're calling him day to day. Again, nothing serious from what we can tell. We should see him week 1. He's already participating in individual drills, and probably will get in for the finale preseason game, which actually I think they play tomorrow, so we'll have to see. He might not actually, but we'll keep an eye on that. And then Titans running back Tyjae Spears. He had a high ankle sprain during the preseason opener against Tampa Bay, so that was just a couple weeks ago. So that sucks because, again, we're looking at a high ankle sprain here, probably 4 weeks at least. And I don't think he's going to start on PUP, but certainly something that's going to keep him out multiple weeks as we get started with the season. So he had a boot on at one point and was using crutches, which is pretty standard of care for a high ankle sprain, especially if it's at least a moderate degree, which tells me that it's going to be probably at least 4 weeks, maybe even longer. So PUP is not out of the question, but I don't think it's going to happen with him. And that's the list. Jason gave me quite an extensive list there. Hope we covered enough of the info. And if you have any questions, I'm open to questions.
Well, thank you for all of that, Bri. I apologize for making that long for you. We got a whole AFC conference to cover, and there's a few like defense. I didn't give any defensive people, which shame on me for. So, but we'll talk about we'll talk a little more next week when we cover the NFC. Maybe I'll throw some defensive players out there for you.
Yeah, everyone, I covered defense, offense, special teams, football, baseball. You name it. I cover it all. So
he's got it. So do yourself a favor, peoples. If you want up-to-date injury news, go follow Bri, Injured List Sports Podcast, all over social media as well. He's got his own show as well, so on YouTube. So make sure you go check Bri out. All right, Bri. Well, we'll see you next week, and I'll see you on Sunday morning as well, my friend. Appreciate you coming in.
All right, guys. Take care.
All right, we're going to hear from Pro Am Belts as we've seen Brian off. All right, I might need to update that. I got Aaron Rodgers doing the Green Bay belt thing. I had to tighten that one up. All right, well, again, AFC preview time, and I thought we'd do this a little different rather than going through all the boring teams. Let's start from the top, and we'll work our way down. First, we're going to get our little prognostication hats on, and we're going to talk about our division winners. So, Ben, you're going to be up first. I'll pull you up here. Talk about your division winners for the AFC this year.
Let me see what we got. Oh,
there you go. Come again.
That is dope. Hey, AI got me. Listen, AI got me. I don't know if that's me or Santonio Holmes, but that's a little blend of both of us.
That was in fact the AI made that out of one of your old headshots actually. So there you go.
Hey, I'll take it. As AI, as long as it look halfway like me and not some of these kids on NCAA 2026, I'm good. All
right. So talk about your division winners and what you think about it.
Well, listen, as you can see, man, I think it's going to be the usual suspects. I think Buffalo is going to, run the AFC East once again, even though I think they're going to have some contenders to try to, knock them off a little bit. Baltimore is Baltimore. Nobody reloads like Baltimore reloads. And everybody want to talk about what Saquon Barkley did in 2024. I mean, there's a guy by the name of Derrick Henry who rushed for almost 2,000 yards, and that's without them even featuring him. Houston is a good team in a real bad division, and until the Colts, who got a new quarterback, the Titans, who got their quarterback getting in fights, Cam Ward, you can't be swinging on defensive tackles, and obviously, that team in Jacksonville. I think Houston is going to be here to stay for they're going to be here to stay for a while. I like what Houston has done, and I'm looking forward to them to get back to their winning ways, which leads me to the team who everybody thinks has fallen off because they lost to the Eagles. That is Kansas City. Patrick Mahomes got a real haircut now. He got rid of the mohawk. And I think they're gonna win by offense this year. Yeah, they had a really, really good record last year, but a lot of games came down to block field goals and one-score games. And that I don't think it's gonna be Kansas City this year, but the best quarterbacks usually have a shot to win those divisions. You got 3 regular season MVPs with Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, and Lamar Jackson, and you got the rookie. You got a guy in C.J. Stroud who keeps winning. So Houston, Baltimore, Buffalo, Kansas City, and you could probably fast forward to 2026. It's gonna probably look the exact same way for your division winners.
Boy, couldn't said that better myself. Ironically, Justin, you're up next, and looks like, damn, what you got the same teams on here. Like you guys were looking in the same crystal ball. Talk about your division winners.
All right, so yeah, it's the same teams, but it's the same teams because the same teams keep doing the right things. Kansas City, right up there with Baltimore as far as seeing the future and going, hey, I gotta go get myself a left tackle. What did they go do? They go get themselves Josh Simmons. That dude has got raw talent written all over him. And what are they going to do? They're going to put him right there. They're going to let him block for Mahomey. And guess what? This team just got a cheap offensive lineman for the next 5 years who might end up being the next Trent Williams. He just might. He's that damn good. They reloaded at offensive positions. What do you do if you got Xavier Worthy and you got Rashee Rice going on suspension, then you got Xavier Worthy out there, you got Jalen Royals, you got Hollywood Brown who's been injury prone. What do? You keep on reloading on these fast receivers so your offense never misses a hitch. And that's Kansas City just in a nutshell. They're ahead of the game on that one. Baltimore's the same way. I don't know why Baltimore can't get over the hump. It doesn't seem like, I don't know if it's a mental thing, if they just get to that final part and they just kind of make lapses, but whatever it is, they had such an offense last year that I thought nobody was going to stop them. And lo and behold, Josh Allen of all people stops them. There's Josh Allen and me and the Bills. Josh Allen is the ideal workhorse, because the Bills always have a shitty defense that gets injured, and then somehow they end up pulling it together with guys off the street. They have a linebacker who is bagging groceries. They got a safety who is, hanging out at the high school trying to make tryouts. And then out of nowhere, they're in the AFC Championship game. And it's because Josh Allen's he's Josh Allen. I mean, and last year wasn't even his best showing of a year. And then finally, the Texans, I'll say this, C.J. Stroud needs to make those strides because this team is slowly starting to deteriorate. I did not like what they did with the offensive line. I think this defense is very basic in scheme. And, I think this is the one team that's like, a year or two down the line, maybe the Jaguars start to grasp Liam Combs' offense. Maybe they get some good defense in there. The tide could turn on them pretty quickly. So, for now, Texans are definitely a lock because they're the most stable situation, but I would not be surprised if they're out in 2026.
It's completely ironic that you say that. Let's look at my division winners. And look, they're the exact same. How ironic. But
wait, no America's team.
No America's team this year. No, womp, womp, womp. But I will say I'm going to lead off of basically what you were just talking about with the Texans and the Jags. Like, I was literally so tempted to put the Jags in there because I do think they're going to take a leap forward. But then I was like, well, how bad were the Jags last year? They were 3-14. I'm like, they ain't making that kind of leap. So that's why I went with the Texans, quite honestly. Because I echo what you're saying with the Texans. I feel like, with the loss of Tank Dell, Joe Mixon not being in the mix, no pun intended, really kind of dampers for me Houston this year. However, Christian Kirk is a nice, I don't want to say replacement because he's not going to do the thing Tank Dell does, but he is a good quality receiver that they did add to the mix. Like you said, you got Daniel Jones in the Colts. You got the Titans, who are an up-and-coming team at some point. So I echo what you're saying with the Texans. I think next year, we could see a changing of the guard quite possibly. The Bills are the Bills. They are who they thought they were. Miami can't get over the damn hump ever. So, all I can say, and, the Patriots, they're up and coming, and the Jets are just garbage. So, this is the Bills division all day. The Ravens, let me just say this. To all you media people out there that are so quick to say, oh, somebody was carted off the field, or today we saw the report of Lamar was taken off the field because of a wrist. And then I just saw it come up on NFL. I was watching the NFL Network, and it just said at the bottom that he was just taken off because someone stepped on his foot. I'm like, come on, bro. Can we get some legit reporting going on here? Wrist, foot. That's totally two different things. I know you guys aren't medical experts, but, the knee bone's connected to the thigh bone. That's not, we learned that when we were kids. So I don't understand what the reporting was about. So either way, the Ravens, Ben and I talked about them all season last year. We kept bringing it up. Give the ball to Derrick Henry. That's pretty much all we kept saying. And I'm sure they'll repeat that success again this season. Although, there are, the Steelers are up and coming in that division. It's going to be a tough division for them this year. But, again, the Ravens are quality football, like we just said, doing it over and over again. That's what matters. And the Ravens know how to do it. And the Chiefs are who, again, we thought they were. There was a lot of talk. Even Ben, you mentioned that that people were saying that they fell off after losing to Philly. People were talking about them all last season, talking about they were fall. They're not the Chiefs. They're not that team. And look, they got all the way to the Super Bowl. So Chiefs know how to win. Andy Reid knows how to win. They know how to scheme up. I think they'll be fine. I think we'll see a little resurgence of Pat Mahomes and Travis Kelce this year. So I'm all in on the Chiefs. I do think that they're going to dominate their division as they were. All right, so that was pretty easy. We're all kind of in and we all agree with the division winners. Let's go to the wild card slots. This is where things get a little more interesting, I guess, if you will. Ben, let's talk about your wild card teams. Who you got?
Well, here's the thing, right? I know everybody want to talk about the usual suspects, that being the division winners. Well, I think that the AFC North is going to be one to watch because while I cannot stand one Aaron Rodgers, who allegedly is married now. No one's seen his wife. I'm not saying he's not married. I'm just saying he's weird. Now he's in Pittsburgh. Can he get them? He's going to do two things for Mike Tomlin. He's definitely going to make sure Mike Tomlin keeps the streak of not having a losing record since he's been a head coach. But I don't know how far they're going to go into the playoffs because of this other guy. That would be the young man, first name Joe, last name Burrow. Now I don't know who's going to be rushing the passer for the Bengals because they don't want to play Trey Hendrickson. Shamar Stewart has to be told, "Hey, dude, I know you're a first round rookie. You can't be hitting Joe Burrow. My bad. Don't hit Joe Burrow." And this guy named Justin Herbert. I'm not drinking the Justin Herbert Kool-Aid, but I do think he's going to play a little better this year because I think he has to. People love Justin Herbert, and Justin Herbert's postseason resume looks like Takeo Spikes. Even though Takeo Spikes never went to the playoffs, he hasn't done anything in the playoffs. He just looks good. He's 6'6" with a big arm. I think that the AFC North is going to be the one to watch because I think Pittsburgh is going to be better. Jonnu Smith, Pat Freiermuth, DK Metcalf, Joey Porter Jr., Jalen Ramsey. Who's going to be able to throw the ball? Darius Slay. They're going to have a nice squad. I think the Bengals going to be able to score, and Harbaugh has a team that can beat you up with Derwin James, the guys on defense, and you look at what they're going to have on offense. Even though Mike Williams decided to go back to LA just to retire, but they did add Keenan Allen, and if Najee Harris can learn how to shoot fireworks, what the hell going on? Like how did that even happen? Like. Hey, dude, stay away from the fireworks. I get shot in the eye, and then I got to go report it. What happened to you? Hey, man, did you know that the firework can shoot you in the eye? Yeah, where you from? Anyway, I'm looking forward to this AFC North division. I'm looking forward to a team like the Chargers putting pressure on a team like Kansas City, because whenever you got teams coming from your division of familiar foes, they got a shot to beat them. But yeah, the Bengals, because I trust Joe Burrow. Pittsburgh, because I like Aaron Rodgers. I don't love him. We'll see what he does this year. And Justin Herbert. Will the real Justin Herbert please stand up? We will see this year's offseason. This year's postseason.
I like it. I especially like your Steelers take. They're looking pretty deadly. Let's look at Justin's wild card team. Let's talk about your boys here. What do you think about this little crew here? Pretty much the same, just mix it up. Got the Broncos in there. What do you think?
First off, I want to say this. Ben, you damn near broke my heart right there. Nearly brought me to a tear when you said Takeo Spikes never played in a playoff game, because that is a goddamn shame. That man is a goddamn good linebacker, and he deserved to play in a playoff game. He played for so many teams that are actually good now. He played for the Niners, the Eagles. They just weren't good at the time. Come on, man. Oh, all right. I'm done with my rant. But yeah, it's pretty much the same stuff. I'm also a believer in Joe Burrow. I think that Joe Burrow has what it takes to be the full-on MVP this year. I think if he had gotten the playoffs last year, he should have been MVP last year. Because you want to talk about put a team on your back, though. It was literally Joe Burrow saying, defense? Fuck defense. I'm just going to play more offense. So I 100% agree. I think the Bengals will find a way to make it back to the playoffs. Steelers are a little bit on the shaky side with me. Defense is aging. It's not good to hear that Cam Hayward is having contract disputes. They just cleared up TJ Watt. I think Minka Fitzpatrick, honestly, getting Jalen Ramsey, that's a great play. But when you got to get rid of Minka Fitzpatrick, that's kind of one of those guys that you don't ever want to get rid of ever in your franchise history. He's just too damn good. So, I'll roll with the Steelers just because of consistency. I think consistency, and I think if they finally got the young core at that offensive line to protect Aaron Rodgers, they can definitely do some damage. And then the Broncos. Shit. Broncos just got better this offseason. A defense that was ranked number 1 as far as scoring, and then you add in Talanoa Hufanga and you add in Drake Greenlaw into the mixture. Come on. That's an awesome defense that they have there. And I think they're going to at least take one from the Chiefs this year, if not both. They could definitely take both from the Chiefs this year. And then, Bo Nix, another year in the system. Obviously, Sean Payton wouldn't be rolling with him if he didn't believe in him. Sean Payton's definitely a guy that will kick you to the curb if he doesn't believe in you. Let the Waltons know that one. Shit, they're still paying for Russell Wilson's contract. And then, they just reloaded weapons. They got wide receiver help. They got running back help. They finally got their running back and RJ Harvey. So it's looking good. And then, Evan Ingram as well. So last year, the Broncos made it to the playoffs with very limited offensive weapons. This year, they reloaded. They got way better on the offensive side. And once again, they vaunted that defense. I think that they're 100% in their playoff and maybe even Super Bowl window right now.
Super Bowl. Oh, my goodness. Okay, I like it. All right, let's go to my wild card teams. And they're kind of the same, except, of course, the miracle team.
Let's do it.
You gotta throw them in there. Come on. Listen, it's funny because I'm about to make an argument against the Bengals, which you could easily make for the Dolphins as well. The fact is the Bengals defense is trash, period. Like, we saw it, even though it's preseason. We saw it against the Commanders the other night. They're just a very bad defense. The America's team front seven is pretty nasty defensively. And of course, obviously with Minka, we got some good safety on the corners, and they're going to need some help. Obviously, I'm not even acting like this defense is going to be anything, but I think it's just a step above the Bengals D. And maybe their offense might be a step above ours, but we're going to see. I just wanted to throw them in there because, ain't nobody, every prognostication I've seen got the Dolphins 3-14 and all this nonsense. this is still a good football team. Do I think they're going to do anything if they got in the playoffs? No. If they snuck in, they'll probably get beat right out. But either way, I think Miami at least makes a run. On top of the fact that the Bengals, again, are in the AFC North. And we just talked about how good the AFC North is. Feel like those teams might beat up on each other a little bit, allow us some mobility to sneak in these playoffs. I echo what Ben said about the Steelers. I think that defense is really good, and I think with the added benefit now of Aaron Rodgers, now he doesn't need to be all world, all elite, but he still was decent last year for this Jets team that he played for. And this Steelers team now got he didn't have DK Metcalf. He had Garrett Wilson, but he had DK Metcalf in the mix. So I like the Steelers a lot this year. I think they might win a couple of playoff games. I don't know if they're going to go. I don't think they're going Super Bowl or anything, but I think that they could at least win a wild card round and maybe even go a little further. The Chargers, Ben said it. I said it the best. Talking about beat a team that can beat you up. They're decent on the defensive end, and they're also good with pounding the rock. I think that's the team that's built for the playoff push, if you will. They can run the football effectively. You got Justin Herbert back there with a little bit of weapons. It might be a little aging, but they're still good weapons. Got Ladd McConkey in the mix as well. I like the Chargers going into the season. And like I said, I think they're built for the playoff push. And, Harbaugh knows how to coach. So, either way, I think they're going to make it into the wild card. All right, so we talked about our playoff teams. Let's go through the divisions and talk about some of the other teams, just to help anyone out who might be voting or rooting for those teams. Let's go to the New England Patriots first. We'll start in the AFC East, a very good and upcoming team. What are your thoughts, Ben, on the New England Patriots this year?
They spent a lot of money. They spent a lot of money in the offseason, adding a lot of additions to that team. And Mike Vrabel's back. I mean, they got the coach they always wanted. I don't know why they hired Mayo when you wanted Vrabel. I don't know if it's going to be the Patriots' way from the past, but the Vrabel's way in the present and future. You could get behind a guy. He was a good coach for the Titans. It's just he didn't get along with the front office. They didn't, and he freaking traded A.J. Brown to the freaking Eagles because he didn't think he was that good, which everybody make dumb decisions when you are a head coach. But I think because of how Vrabel coaches, and he's a proven coach, he's in the Hall of Fame over there with New England. I like they're not gonna win a lot of games, but they're gonna be a hard out. They're gonna make it rough on a lot of teams this year because they're trying to build some confidence with your quarterback. They got a guy, Stephon Diggs. Travion Henderson out of Ohio State outside of running back kicks. This kid does not look like a rookie in the preseason. I mean, Gonzalez at corner is the best cornerback nobody talks about. This boy just locks people up. I just think that when you look at a recipe for success, they have it. Unfortunately, the Bills are the Bills. The Dolphins are the Dolphins. So they'll beat up. They're gonna be battling for not being the bottom feeder, known as the Jets. But I do like their chances to make some noise, a little noise in 2025.
Justin, what are your thoughts on the Patriots?
I think they'll be the second best team in the AFC East. I think they'll probably be around 8-9 wins and got a solid base. I love Henderson. I love what they did with the draft. The kid out of Washington State, Kyle Williams, is definitely an interesting pick. And they've got so many guys that have gone under the radar. Pop Douglas is going to be a tremendous slot receiver. Stephon Diggs, once he catches his feet underneath him again, hopefully he shines. Honestly, could have been a borderline wild card team for me. I kind of am in and out on the Steelers, so definitely I could see them sliding into the wild card.
Second in the AFC East. What is wrong with this guy? It must have been that haircut messed you up a little bit. I'm going to tell you, I agree with you though, because I do think the Patriots 8-9, 9-8, they're going to be somewhere in there. I think America's team will also be around that same. So, I'm with you on that. I think they're also a borderline wildcard team this year. I like the defense. Drake May proved last season, he's definitely got some juice to him. They've added some pieces on the offense that you guys mentioned as well. And with Vrabel, they're going to play good, solid defense. So again, I kind of concur what you're saying, even though I don't like the second AFC comment. All right, let's talk about those stinky, nasty, disgusting Jets. Ben, what are your thoughts on the New York Jets?
I think the Jets are a dumpster fire waiting to happen. I think Justin Fields is going to go out there and prove that he can be a valuable starter, but it's the Jets. They don't have an identity right now. When you go through as many players and coaches that they've been through the last couple of years, you can't just get it right. I think they got the right coach. Aaron Glenn is the right guy, and just like I said about the Chargers, they're going to be built to beat you up. They're going to try to beat you up as a team. They got the right guy, but they're going to have to do the one thing in football and in New York or New Jersey that they don't want to do. That's practice patience. They're not going to do that. But the first game of the year, hey man, Justin Fields get to look over and look at Mike Tomlin and say, "Oh, so you chose Aaron Rodgers over me? All right, cool. Let's see." But they're gonna be entertaining. But they are the Jets for a reason. They are the Mets, just with a J. They are the little brother in New York.
Heard. Justin, what say you on those Jets?
Yeah, I mean it's kind of the same old story for the Jets. I hope that they kind of get it together because I do like Aaron Glenn. But I think maybe they could have been better off getting an offensive-minded coach since they just transitioned from a defensive-minded coach and it didn't really work out. But, just for the Jets, and at least they're rewarding their players. Sauce Gardner got his contract to spend eternity there. Maybe we'll be talking about him being the best player that never made the playoffs.
Dang. Yeah, I feel you with that though. So I don't know if they're going to be like, I don't know if they'll be bottom feeder of the league. I think that they have some talent. And again, I didn't understand why I think they had the pieces in place when they brought Aaron Rodgers in. They just couldn't get on the same page. You got a great running game, but you never utilize it, especially in the red zone. We talked about that a few times last season. I'd watch these games where I'm watching the Jets go all the way down the field running the football. Then they get close to the goal line and Aaron Rodgers calling audibles to try to throw it in, which is just silly. Like, go with what works for you. Play good defense, which they had, and run the football. So we'll see if that's the mentality. I've heard a lot of scuttlebutt about them doing like a more of a shared backfield versus doing just a lot of Breece Hall, which I could see. Braylon Allen, obviously, when he had his chances, played very well. So you could see kind of that Lions, David Montgomery, Gibbs kind of effect going on. But the problem is that you have Justin Fields as the QB. And yeah, he may be good for fantasy football, but he's not good for NFL football, period. So you can see a lot of mistakes being made by Justin Fields. So, again, I'm not going to put them at the bottom of the AFC, but definitely the bottom of the AFC East for me, at least. All right, let's talk about, we got to run through the AFC South, and, we got to talk about most of the teams because I didn't think we even brought any of them up. Let's go with the Jags first. Ben, what are your thoughts on this new Jaguar team?
We're going to obviously a guy like Travis Hunter is going to take a lot of pressure off a lot of attention off a guy like Trevor Lawrence. But at this point, Trevor Lawrence is a quarterback that you can win behind, or he's just not good. Like, everybody want to talk about what he did and what he could be. We're going to give you Urban Meyer as a mulligan. We're going to let that go. But you also had Doug Peterson. What happened with that? Now you got Liam Cohen. Liam Cohen will be the last coach that's going to coach you in Jacksonville. So if you're going to transcend and go up, or, man, you are the Justin Herbert of the South. I mean, you just are. Y'all both like 6'6", got long hair, big arm, no postseason success. And guess what? De'Ami Brown in the slot, Travis Hunter at the X, and Brian Thomas Jr. over there at the Z. And you talking about Tank Bigsby and Travis Etienne? They got weapons. That's no excuse. I want to see if Trevor Lawrence has overcome the bad play and he's ready to take the next step, or he make the same amount of money as Josh Allen and he ain't that good. We'll see.
Yeah, I'm totally with you on there. I've said it as soon as they drafted Travis Hunter that it is make or break for this guy. for Trevor Lawrence. I mean, you got the weapons. It's your time, my friend. Justin, what are your thoughts?
Did we skip over the Dolphins because you don't want to hear what me and Ben got to say?
No, I already spoke about them, so we didn't need to talk about
it. America's team.
As I'm in the crouch position in my bed, yes, that's what I say. Anyway, all right, talk about the Jags, the other Florida team.
Tua's a real quarterback. The Jaguars, very promising team. Like what they're doing on offense. Like the direction that Liam Cohen has. Wondering when he's going to tell Travis Hunter, just play on offense, man. Your tackling's really not up to snuff for the NFL. But, at this point, he's such a raw talent. You just kind of got to let him kind of grow. And, hopefully this defense kind of gets up to snuff with the offense, because this could really be kind of like, I know they're Florida mates over there, but this could be the Tampa Bay of the AFC, where they have that high-powered offense and they just have enough defense in this weak division to get by. And so, I definitely see them having a ton of potential. Don't think it's going to get fulfilled this year. Kind of have them in that Patriots spot where they're doing good things. They're just not ready to take that leap this year.
Yeah, I'm with you. Again, borderline wildcard team for me, this Jags team. I mean, and as we mentioned, Ben, it's put up or shut up for Trevor Lawrence. Well, if he puts up, then this team could certainly sneak into the playoffs, especially with the weak division that they're in right now. So, I'm kind of feeling you on the Jags. All right, let's go on to the Daniel Jones-led Colts. Ben Troupe, what do you think of this team?
I think this Colts team, you understood. Daniel Jones decided in the offseason which team was going to give him the best opportunity to start. He chose Indy. And he said, look, I think I'm better than Anthony Richardson. I think I'm more poised than him. And I can pick up I can see the blitz. I'm not getting hit from day one install. If the offensive line is stepping left, where do you think the blitz coming from, Anthony? It's coming from the right. It's gonna come from that way, and you're right-handed. If we're stepping left, I should be looking right anyway. I think this Colts team is saying to themselves, "Can we beat Houston?" I don't think they're afraid of Houston, and it's something about the Colts since Andrew Luck has left. They've gotten older quarterbacks, Matt Hasselbeck, Matt Ryan, Phillip Rivers. Now, I don't think Daniel Jones is in that caliber, but I think Joe Flacco. I think he's a better fit for what they're trying to do. What are they trying to do? Push the ball down the field, run the football, play good defense, and not tap out and ask, "Hey, Anthony, why'd you go off the field?" "I was tired." Did you say that out loud? Did you just say you were tired? Yeah, lie. Don't tell us the truth in that. But I think the Colts are gonna be real similar to like the Jets and the Chargers. They're gonna be a hard out in the AFC South. But Daniel Jones is just a better quarterback than Anthony Richardson. He's serviceable. That don't mean he's a good quarterback. I think the real Daniel Jones is going to show itself because Quentin Nelson, the starting right guard for them, the all-pro Quentin Nelson, they asked him on Busted with the Boys, "Hey, man, who would you want?" He said Anthony Richardson. So there are players that don't agree with Daniel Jones. There aren't too many places in America that the NFL team is going to pick Daniel Jones over anybody. Anthony Richardson, my goodness, young man. He only 23. But yeah, I'm going to be watching the Colts, the most boring jersey combination you've ever seen in your life. That will be the Colts. They don't care about, they just want to play. And they wear black cleats. I guess they think all white with black cleats make them nice. It doesn't. It's boring. But it is the Colts. We'll see how much noise they can make this year.
I feel like Daniel Jones was named the starter right after that hit you were just describing. And Priest, I literally was sitting there like, how did you not see that? Like, how did you not know that was coming? You didn't feel it? Like, that's not a NFL pro quarterback to me, quite frankly, although great athlete, but definitely needs to get in that Peyton Manning-esque study film room and study, because if you don't see that, bro, you got some issues. I totally with you on that. Justin, what are your thoughts on the Colts?
Well, I mean, shit. Ben, you're a Florida boy. You have seen Rex Grossman. You saw a little bit of Chris Leak, all these guys. So Anthony Richardson, he to me is not a natural quarterback. Even the way he's thrown at receivers, people have said, hey, he kind of throws it like he's throwing a fucking 90-mile-an-hour fastball at your fingers, breaking your fingers. I don't know. I'm in between because I see what Anthony Richardson can be, but I don't see him taking the steps that somebody like Josh Allen took. You know what I mean? Like Josh Allen by his year 3 was already well into becoming a better quarterback. Like he was out of that whole I'm going to be a runner phase, and he was starting to really sling the ball. Anthony Richardson, like you said, it doesn't even look like he can notice when a blitz is coming. Like, what are we doing here? And I'm not going to blame it all on him. I'm going to blame it on the coaching staff. I think this is a coaching staff that needs to go. It's mediocre. If you want to have success, you get mediocre out. It doesn't matter if they can win 7 games with fucking whoever the hell, Gardner Minshew or whatever. You take that and you get it out because you want better. So if you can't get your quarterback up to snuff, a guy that you took, I think with like the 4th overall pick.
4th, yeah.
Yeah. If you can't get him to even make a little bit of strides, then it's time to make something happen. Either cut your coaching staff and get somebody else in there that can kind of help him out, or just let him go somewhere else where he can kind of help his career. The Colts have wasted so much talent at this point. They've wasted Pittman. They've wasted Taylor. They're wasting Downs. They're going to waste Warren if they don't get this shit going. And that's a lot of talent right there. That, you name all those guys, that could be on a playoff team easily, year after year after year.
Yeah, 100%. I'm with you. I feel like, because they don't utilize those weapons enough, the defense is shaky. This could, I just don't see much coming out of this Colts team this year. I think it's almost a tank for whoever the hell is coming out this next year right now with this Colts team. I just don't see much. And unfortunately for Jonathan Taylor, who is, just ruining his whole career by staying in a horrible franchise, quite frankly. He's a great running back, having to deal with all these consistent issues. And, again, get ready, Jonathan, because you're going to face 7 in the box every week. That's what's coming up, because nobody's going to be scared of that passing game at all. All right, let's go to the Titans. Somebody franchise Ben's very familiar with. What do you think of these Tennessee Titans?
I think this Tennessee Titans team is going to be exciting because of who you got at quarterback in Cam Ward, but I think you're going to have to deal with the mistakes. Like, Cam Ward is going to make some wild plays, and he's going to make some plays and make you scratch your head because he's very, very confident. He did it at 2 schools in college, Wazoo and the U, and now being the number. Listen, being the best player in college football means you get to go to the worst team in the NFL. That is your consolation prize. I'm the number 1 pick. I like Cam Ward's confidence. But confidence don't win games. Confidence help you, help you holler at the ladies when you go out after the game. It can help you during the game too. But I think the thing about Cam is this: Cam Ward is going to be really, really good, but he's still a rookie, and the number 1 overall pick is going to get a lot of scrutiny. He's going to show flashes of Jaden Daniels and Caleb Williams. He's going to be both people in 2025. Caleb Williams to remind you I'm a rookie, and Jaden Daniels to show you, hey man, this is what I could be. Tyler Lockett, Calvin Ridley. He got some receivers in there now. He got some Jeffrey Simmons on defense. Coach Bill Callahan, the thing about the Titans that scare me, they have no identity. None. You don't know what you're going to get. And a team that doesn't have an identity, they'll take anybody giving them one. Hey, man, what y'all want to do? Y'all want to run the ball today? You want to throw the ball today? You want to play good defense today? They're trying to figure out who they are on the fly. That's hard to do, but they're going to have to figure it out real quick. Because if that O-line don't hold up, get ready for that backup to come in. Cam Ward going to be lying on his back, and that's not going to be good. But, I'm going to rock with them 2-tone boot blowers from Nashville. I just think that Cam is a good quarterback, but he also knows I'm going to start. I mean, and it's not because Will Levis is out for the season. He was going to start. I can't play over Will Levis, but I can play better than him for a couple of series. Will Levis is god awful. Ah, goodness. But I think the Titans I think they're gonna be serviceable this year.
Yeah, they're going to be fun to watch, I think, for sure. But, like I said, I think you said it perfectly. You got to have to live with the mistakes with them. That's for sure. Justin, what do you think of the Titans?
I think it's going to be interesting to see how these guys grow. It's going to kind of be like CJ Stroud. We're going to really see where this guy is at as far as like how he can elevate talent. And I think Cam elevated talent great at the U. And I think that he can in Tennessee, but he's kind of been stuck with he's got some guys who've got some real potential. Like Alec Eilmeyer, I really like what he can do as a field stretcher. Xavier Restrepo is a guy that has been, obviously worked with him in the past. They got Chamari Dike, and they've got Calvin Ridley, of course. So it's going to be really an interesting season. I think this is going to be like a 6-win season for them, but we're going to find out if Cam can make everybody better. And if he can, then Tennessee got a winner, and that's all that matters because you just need your franchise quarterback. That's all that matters. Afterwards, you got the confidence to go out there, spend money, get a better offensive line, get a better defensive line, get everybody clicking, and then next thing you know, you're hopefully making a playoff run.
I'm with it. I agree with you 100%. Again, I don't think the bottom of the AFC East, and I don't even think the bottom of this division, I think it's going to go to the Colts because I do think Cam is going to win some games for them. And again, we'll see. He's got weapons, but like Ben said, he's going to make mistakes down the stretch. So you're going to have to live with that. But that's all part of being a rookie and learning. I think this team will be somebody we might be talking about, one of those fringe wildcard teams going into next season. We'll see what kind of moves they make, of course. All right, let's get on to the AFC North. We pretty much covered everybody except those Cleveland Browns. What do you think, Mr. Troupe, about the Cleveland Browns?
I think the Cleveland Browns has the most interesting quarterback room I've seen in a long time. Most teams only might keep 3 quarterbacks. They're gonna keep 4, even though I think before it's all said and done, Kenny Pickett probably get traded to a team like the Saints or somebody that need help. But here's the thing about this about the Browns. The Browns the Browns don't have the worst front office in the AFC North. They got one of the weirdest. So the owner comes out and say, if it was up to me, I wouldn't have drafted Shador. But then he goes, I trust my GM and my president. What the hell are y'all talking about? Dylan Gabriel comes out and says, I'm a competitor, not an entertainer. Let me clarify, I was saying entertainers like the media. Media ain't entertaining. What media member is entertaining? Stephen A? No, you went to Oregon and you're saying what Dan Lanning used to say. You ain't in Eugene, you in Cleveland. So you're going from John Deere jerseys, that John Deere jersey combination, and now you wearing Brown jerseys. I think the Browns are gonna be intriguing because they ain't got nothing to lose. Like they're the Browns. Myles Garrett made everybody think I'm leaving. No, Myles Garrett, you are the Barry Sanders and Calvin Johnson of the Browns. You will die a Brown. They're never going to let you leave. You're going to be there forever. But I just want to see how long Joe Flacco body going to hold up, right? Because it ain't going to hold up. Kenny Pickett, they don't really want you there. Do you go with Dylan or Shador? I will be watching to see.
I think we're going to see Shador Sanders for the season is out for sure. Justin, what are your thoughts on the Browns?
Yeah, we're probably going to see every quarterback there, and then we'll probably still see Snoop Huntley at some point as well. It's an interesting room there. I mean, you kind of go the real thing that I'm thinking about here is if Shador shines, do you go with him instead of going with somebody like a Newsomeyer from LSU? Or if Arch Manning comes out, do you have the balls to stick with Shador at the low cost that you got him at if he ends up performing? Say he wins like 3 of the 4 games he starts. And it's almost like a Jimmy Garoppolo thing in San Francisco where he's got you fool's gold for a little bit. And then next thing you know, I forgot how I can read a defense, and I'm not really that good unless I know where my first read is and all that. So do they have the balls, or are they the Browns enough to stick with the 5th round pick over going out and getting a real quarterback. And I mean, I'm not going to say Shador's not a real quarterback. That's not my place. But when you have a quarterback talent that's coming out, you kind of go, he was only a 5th round pick.
Yeah, I'm with you. This team, organizationally speaking, just from the bottom to the top, I mean, I just don't know what's going on. Love Myles Garrett, of course. So, that's the high point, I think, for this team, quite frankly.
He got paid. That's what matters. He got paid.
He got paid, and he's awesome. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, I mean, he's great defensive end. Kind of like in that Jonathan Taylor mode where it kind of feel like he's wasting his career on a horrible organization. But, again, from top to bottom, I just said it earlier. I'll say it again. Shedeur Sanders. I'm going to give week 6. We're going to see the Shedeur Sanders era begin for these Cleveland Browns. And we'll see. I mean, maybe that gives them that spark they needed. And who knows what this team could do. But I'm not, obviously very excited about them at all. All right, we only got one more team to cover because we talked about everybody in the AFC West too. Let's talk about those Raiders. Ben Troupe, what you think of this Raider team?
They got him a running back, Ashton Jeanty, after one preseason game. He says, I've arrived. I'm here. I'm going to be running through everybody. But here's the thing, though. There was another dude that was with the Raiders. I want to say his last name was Richardson. Right, and he came from Alabama, a little battering ram, kind of looked like Ashton Jeanty. Ashton Jeanty go. Listen, anybody any over the counter pain medication that you can't get in trouble from, he gonna be popping them pills because his body gonna be toe up at the end of the year. Trey Hendrickson, back-to-back 17.5 sack guy from Cincinnati, is a front runner to potentially get traded to the Raiders. Why do I say that? Because Max Crosby doesn't have a Robin right now. It's just Max Crosby, and they had Wilkins out there, but that's another story for another day. That's a different level of weird too. Good Lord, that's a different kind of weird. But I will say this about the Raiders: Geno Smith. You talk about Brock Bowers, you talk about Jeanty, you talk about Pete Carroll. Can they show some promise in 2025? Because if they can't, Kansas City is Kansas City. And no one wants to talk about this, but Bo Nix had a better rookie year than Jaden Daniels. Just check the numbers. Just check the numbers. I tell no lies. I want to see, can the Raiders do more than have the best uniform combination and get to gamble anytime they want out there in Vegas. We'll see. But other than that, man, it's the Raiders. I mean, the only 70-something-year-old that got energy like a 20-something-year-old is Pete Carroll. I don't know how he's doing it, but he's doing it. Tom Brady's in the building. I want to see, can the Raiders put pressure on Denver? Can they find a way to beat the Chargers? And can they scare Kansas City? They're gonna be bottom feeders now. They're gonna finish 4th. Because I think they got the worst quarterback out of all 4. Nothing against Geno, but he's not better than Herbert. He's not better than Bo Nix, and I don't think nobody's allowed to say anybody's better than Patrick Mahomes at this point. But I'm gonna see I'm gonna see the type of team the Raiders are gonna put out there. Pete Carroll said, "Look, I did it at Seattle. I think I could do it. I think I could do it in Vegas."
Yeah, they're a very interesting team, man. If they get Hendrickson there, man, that's wow. That makes a big difference in this team for sure. Because having to deal with him and Max Crosby could take that team to a different level. But Justin, what do you think of this Raiders team?
Yeah, no, I completely agree with Ben. I mean, I listen. Pete is one of those guys. He's like Harbaugh. He can take any team and just kind of mold it, man. And it's just with the energy that they bring the positivity, they bring the confidence. What does he go out and do? He goes out and gets Geno Smith. This man revitalized Geno Smith's career because he instilled so much confidence in him. He said, Geno, you're a great quarterback. You should be out there slinging it like crazy, having 4,000-yard seasons. And guess what? He goes out and he starts doing what he's been doing these past couple years. I do believe that they're going to be the bottom feeders. They're going to be the last man on the totem pole in this division. But, this is probably the toughest division in football. I mean, you've got 3 teams that could easily be in the playoffs. And then you got the Raiders, who I think if they were in the South, would be in the playoffs because I think that they're better than every team in the South, to be honest with you. So, I think this is a big year for them as far as growth. We keep on talking about these teams that have that potential to be taking that next step. I think the Raiders are getting close to that next step. And I think, unfortunately, the next step might not include Geno, so they might be looking for a quarterback. But I think Pete is included in that next step, and I think Pete is one of the main mixers to getting them to that next level. So I'm all in on the Raiders having a above 500 season this year.
Yeah, I'm with you. This team, again, with Ashton Genty, you got Geno back in the mix offensively. They got a little something, and we know their defense is pretty good from last season. So, I'm with you on this. I feel like, they could, if they were in a different division, could be one of those in the mixed wild card teams as well. So before we get to the last segment where Ben does his Skadoopa of the week, I'm going to ask 2 questions of you real quick. Well, I'm asking you both one question. I got a follow-up for Ben real quick because we were just talking about the Raiders. So first, Ben, I'll go to you first on this. Put you on the spot. Give me your AFC Super Bowl contender, and then also give me the worst team in the AFC.
I mean, the AFC Super Bowl contender, until somebody can get them off that mantle, I still think it's Kansas City. I love Buffalo. I love Baltimore, but I mean, Buffalo was good enough to lose to Kansas City. And last time I checked, Lamar Jackson don't even know what it's like to play in the AFC Championship game. Kansas City is my Super Bowl contender until anybody can knock them off in the AFC. The only team can knock them off happens to be in the NFC.
I like it, Justin. Oh, and who's the worst one?
The worst team in the AFC? Good Lord. I hate to say it. The worst team in the AFC, God, man, I think it's going to be the Titans. And this is why. This is why I say this. As much as people talk about the Browns, it's the Browns. No one cares if the Browns are bad. The number 1 overall pick, people say it's going to be the Titans, man, because here's the thing. Cam Ward is going to get hurt, and whoever's backing him up, it ain't going to matter. They're going to be bad because, once again, what is their identity? They don't have one. I think my Titans might. You don't go from worst team in the NFL of 2024 to the best. You're gonna be picking in the top 2 or 3 again. I think the Titans might be the worst team in the AFC.
Justin, who's your Super Bowl contender and worst team in the AFC?
Super Bowl contender. I mean, it's just it seems like it's probably gonna be the Chiefs. They just know how to win. They pay good coordinators because like Spags has obviously been able to dial up a great defense for both Allen and Lamar. And then my worst team, I will take the low hanging fruit on this one. I'm gonna say it's the Browns because the Browns have way too many questions at way too many positions right now. I mean, Quinnipiac Junkins still has not signed or reported. You're left with Dylan Sampson, Jerome Ford, and a bag of chips. And the bag of chips is probably the most appealing option right now.
Frito-Lays, indeed. All right, so
chili cheese, baby, chili cheese.
I'll concur with your worst team. I do think it is going to be Cleveland. Basically, everything you just said. It's just, like I said, just organizationally speaking, just a bad organization, just not something I'm excited to see. And I'm going to differ from you guys. I think the Buffalo Bills are going to finally get over this hump and get to the Super Bowl because, I mean, at what point are you going to do it if you're going to do it? So I really feel like Josh Allen and his team are going to take the next step this season, get over that Chiefs hump, if you will, and get on to the Super Bowl. All right, one last question for Ben real quick, just because you brought it up. And when it happened, I actually was going to text you about it and ask you about this. But I was like, I'm not going to bother him. I'll just wait till we're on the show. So Christian Wilkins, right? Former America's team guy. We've heard all about the locker room antics. When he was down here in Miami, he'd grab Josh Allen's balls and, if they get into a scrummish or something. So the question I have for you actually is, in your time in the NFL, what was the most craziest incident, I guess, if you will, in the locker room? Because, there's a lot of talk about that. So I was just curious if there was something that stuck out to you from any locker room antics.
I'm not gonna name his name.
Yeah, you don't name the name. It's fine.
So when I was with the Titans, man, we had this cornerback, man, and he was different. He was different, and he was so different to the point where when we get new, like when I came on the team, they told me, "Hey Ben, man, just stay away from him. He's different." I'm like, "What do you mean?" And he used to do this crazy stuff, man. Like every time he's in the shower, he want to have he want to talk to you, like he want to talk to you from across the shower, this, that, and the third. And the crazy thing is he'll come up to you, like out the shower, like, "Hey man, you hear me talking to you?" Like, "Man, what the hell wrong with you?" Like, "What? Put some clothes on." He like this for what? Because and it's almost like he go and his answer is always this locker room. I can walk around naked if I want, and he can, but he would just walk around naked talking to people, and it's to the point where I'm like, "Do y'all talk to him?" Like, "Yeah, man, that's what he does." Like he'll just, "Hey, Troupe, man, what y'all boys doing tomorrow night?" "Nothing with you." Like nothing. It's and so the Christian Wilkins thing, as weird as it sounds, you got to have a cap to it. Like you got to be able to say, like when Max Crosby said, "Listen, I have no problem with smacking guys on the butt or whatever." Okay, guys that got smacked on the butt. He did not get kicked off the team for smacking on the butt. And maybe a guy want to give a guy a kiss on the head. No. Kiss him on the head for what? Kiss little Christian Wilkins on the kiss Christian Wilkins Jr. on the head. That is your son. There ain't a man. Listen, ain't nobody saying kiss me on my. I don't know what really happened with Christian Wilkins, but when Adam Schefter goes, just know it's weird, he means I don't even want to report this. It's weird as hell. And if you are Christian Wilkins, I guarantee you, from his time at Clemson, to Miami, to Las Vegas, somebody told him, "Dude, you got to cut that out." Because it's not the fact that he got cut, it's the player he did it to. Because he like, "Hey, coach, listen, y'all need to get him. Plus, you're going to throw away $80 million? That's a hell of a kiss on the forehead, ain't it?" What the hell? I'm just telling you that the weirdest people you ever seen in your life, you work with them. I don't care what industry you in. Guys are the weirdest people when you get to know them. They start doing that stuff, and you say, "Hey, bro, ain't nobody trying to see that." Christian Wilkins is best known for winning the national championship. A 300-pound man stuck his leg straight up in the air and did a split. Now, look, he's acrobatic, whatever you want to call it, but that's a level of creativity that, for what? Like, so, hey, and somebody might end up picking him up again, but the question they're going to ask him is, can we trust you in the locker room? Can we trust you? So I've never heard anything like it. I just think it's too hard to make it to the league, to get a second contract, that much money, and you throwing it away for that? Man, that's good. I guarantee you, though, they didn't come to it lightly. But if you are Christian Wilkins, if you are related to him, his parents or his brothers and sisters, cousins, they thinking, "Dude, what the hell wrong with you?" Because I ain't never heard. Listen, I think I've heard it all. I thought I had seen it all, heard it all, and my teammate that I'm talking about when I was with the Titans, he was very Christian Wilkins-ish, like the kind of stuff he used to do. But because we know it's him, we almost let it go. But it still don't take away the weird as hell award. And Christian Wilkins, right now, you weird as hell, man. The Raiders need some positive publicity, and you getting kicked off the team for kissing foreheads. And when it finally comes out, because it's going to all come out, somebody going to do an interview with him, and they're going to say, "All right, Christian, let's cut through it. What the hell did you do? Like, what did you do?" And he's going to try to say, "You ain't never kissed nobody on the cheek?" "Yeah, I kissed my lady on the cheek." "To my teammates?" "No, I've never go good game, boy." What the hell? Like, I don't know. It's weird. It's weird.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think it actually speaks. I might have been maybe his injury too, but I think it kind of speaks to what he did. I mean, nobody's rushing to pick him up right now. So, which again could be his injury also. But
yep.
I find that kind of ironic. And not that I've been in an NFL locker room, but I was in the military, so we had a locker room, so to speak. And unfortunately, especially like in boot camp, for example, Like you have to like, poop in, like you're in prison, you got to poop in front of people. And there was always those guys that wanted to have conversations. And I'm like, bro, I'm having my private moment. I don't want to talk to you. I don't want to look at you. I'm just closing my eyes like I'm in my own stall right now. Leave me the hell alone.
You know who Christian Wilkins is? This is who Christian Wilkins is. We've all done this. Just say you've been in a major department store, you're in the mall, you at a place that got a lot of stalls. It's like 30 of them. You make it a point to go all the way down to the 30th. And Christian comes to 29. And he's right beside you. You like, hey man, do you know what a one-story? Do I look like I work here? You want to turn and say, look, bro, I'm about to pee on you and say, scoot down. Scoot down. Like, what do you? I think Christian Wilkins is one of those type of people. He's embraced how weird he is, but everybody can't do that. Everybody can't. I think that's what it is. Like, he gets it, but now he really gets it. Because as long as I'm making money and he's great for mic'd up, he's a good football player. But it's like, bruh, you got to calm that down. And now, hopefully, some psychiatrists are making some money with him. He up there with his feet up saying, do you think I took it too far? You think? Yeah. You didn't get cut because of your injury. You got cut because of your mentality. How you think. Hey, man. Somewhere Antonio Brown is saying, they let him go for that? Oh, man, I did some way crazier stuff than that, man. Talk about the Raiders and having those type of players, man.
It's still doing it for sure. All right, before we get out, we got Ben's Skadoop of the week. Before we get to that, though, we got actually a question. It's a fantasy question. Justin, I'll throw it to you. He wants to know, do you keep Josh? It's Kyle Siebert, and thank you, by the way, for your comment. We appreciate it. Justin, do you keep Josh Allen or Derrick Henry? What problems to have here? 12-man, half PPR. He drafts 10th. Henry in the first and Allen in the third. What do you think? Which one are you keeping?
I would just keep Allen because if you really want Henry, he'll be there for you in the 10th.
100%. I think that was exactly what I was thinking too. He's going to be there more than likely, and if not, someone else of a decent quality might be there for you as well. So you definitely hold on to Josh Allen. He's one of those big time stars, if you will. Not that Derrick Henry isn't, but at the QB position, there's not many people below him in that certain tier value. So I'm 100% with you. Keep Josh Allen all day. All right. Well, stick and stay here. We're going to get out. Me and Justin are about to be out of here, but you can see us on Sunday morning. Wake up with us at 9 a.m. We're going to take you back to school with some draft strategies, player rankings. We're going to have injury updates. We're going to have it all. Even a visit from our boy, Fantasy Jesus, is going to give you some locked in blessings for your draft. So get prepared with your draft for us Sunday morning, 9 a.m. So make sure you subscribe and stay here with us. All right, Justin, I appreciate you, my friend. We will see you next week when we do the NFC preview. But tonight, we're going to finish things off with our boy, Ben. He's going to give us his Skadoop of the week.
I don't know about you, but I'm ready for Ben Troupe's Skadoop of the week.
What up, my good people? I am Ben Troupe. Listen, we are back, and that's the tone for right now. Football is back. College football is back in less than a week. I think NFL football back is we're like 2 weeks away. We made it. Yes, I went through my football withdrawal. Yes, I had to go to my football anonymous meetings. Yes, I had to deal with fan bases like the Jets that think they're gonna win, or Pittsburgh Steelers, they're gonna win a playoff game. They ain't won one since 2009. But football is back. Whether you root for America's team, we're talking about the Dolphins, or the fake America's team, we're talking about in Dallas. I'm a Falcons fan. Y'all don't know misery. But if you want to know football, make sure y'all tuning in to know where, to know where it's in the fall. We're going to be here the whole season, Wednesday night, 9 o'clock. Be here or be nowhere else. No excuses. Christian Wilkins, make sure you check us out. I know you got a little time on your hands right now, just playing. But I am being true. This is No Wetters in the Fall. Make sure y'all like, share, and subscribe. I love y'all, even if you don't love me. And if you owe me money, I got your phone number. I'm out.